Tom Tapit. Welcome to the Hell Fucking Yeah podcast.
What's going on, man?
What's going on? For those of you who don't know, he is an incredible artist, tattooist, and a homie, really. Fucking, we've known each other for quite some time, man.
Yeah, I've known you for a while, man.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen you in probably like a decade.
Yeah, I haven't been on Long Island in quite some time.
Right. But at least since high school, I've known you.
Right.
As crazy as it is, man, that was like over 20 years ago.
True.
It's fucking nuts. So how's life now, man?
Things are swell, man. Just living in Brooklyn and enjoying what I can.
Nice, man. You working at a shop or no?
Yeah, I work in Soho at a place called Soho Inc.
Okay.
It's in the heart of Soho. It's a pretty rad area. It's super like fancy compared to, where I started and grew from. And then I'm at the place where I'm at now where I can just like kind of hide in the shadows and do my thing.
Sure. How long have you been tattooing?
14 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember back in, we weren't really, close. I wasn't really close with too many people in high school because I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. I wasn't a big social guy. But I knew you wanted to do tattoos. You were in one of my classes. And so at what age would you say, like, you were like, this is what I want to fucking do?
I was actually 15. And I got my first tattoo illegally. And the moment I got my tattoo, I was like, holy shit, like this is fucking dope, you know what I mean? And then like the guy that owned the shop was just like the coolest guy I've ever met in my entire life. Like women adored him, guys wanted to be like, I wanted to be him. I thought he was just like such a fucking cool person. And thing is, at that age, it's, especially with how I was, it just didn't have that kind of initiative in me. And I was scared because you don't make the money, and I had to get out of my house. I had to get out of Long Island. I was just whatever. And I went into retail. And then after a couple of years of that, I had enough money where I was just like, screw it. I'd rather be happy.
Yeah. There's nothing more motivating than working in retail. I
did a couple of years of not making much money tattooing and just trying to get better.
Yeah. So did you have like prior artistic skills?
No, I had a small desire. Like it was always a background desire for it, but it was more so like I had appreciation for it even at a young age. Like the things that I would look at and people I admired with what they can do on a regular art front, like paintings and stuff like that. And then when I started tattooing is when I started actually drawing at the same time. And I would just pick up books and I would look at magazines and I would just do everything I could to figure out how to do anything.
Sure. No, that's really cool. So 14 years professionally, you would say, right? Okay. So how has the pandemic affected the tattoo industry?
Well, in New York, it's a lot different all over the world, let alone country, but New York especially, we were closed beginning of March. And I luckily am very good with money management. So I was okay. And I just went and did all the painting projects I've been wanting to do. And now I finally had the time to just work on them. And then as soon as we were allowed to open back up, which was the beginning of August, I believe, it was a big rush of a lot of people that just needed something to get out and, spend their money on.
Sure.
And then now it's like kind of doing one of these things because there's still in Manhattan, there's still not, there's a lot of people, but it's not compared to what it normally is. Like, I think they're even saying that we're going to lose 66 million tourists this year, which is a big chunk of change for the whole city in so many different areas.
Yeah. So now that we're getting back to like quote unquote normal, what would you say is the greatest challenge for the industry? And would you say it's in any kind of danger?
It was in danger before COVID.
Yeah.
Between social media and everything, tattooing has become very, very mainstream, where when people start to build even a small following, they just open up their own shop and everybody's, I'm going to do this on my own. I can do it better, because everybody has their own better idea of how it's going to be.
Right.
So I'm sure no matter where you are, you can walk down the street and there's like 5 tattoo shops within a mile.
Right.
Whereas when I started, there was like one in this neighborhood, and then there was one a couple neighborhoods away, and then there was one a couple neighborhoods away from that. But now it's like, even on my street alone that I work on, there's like 4 or 5 within a 5-10 minute walking distance.
Yeah. Do you see the possibility of like people doing like house calls and things like that?
They already are.
Yeah.
And you know, there's people that are influential on the internet, which people tend to follow. Sometimes we'll coerce people into doing that, and then it puts the seed in the head, and people call our shop asking if we'll come and do them at a hotel and stuff like that. And our shop doesn't do that, and there's nothing wrong with that kind of thing. Like, whatever, everybody has their own jam.
Yeah.
We just don't do that from our shop.
I guess the thing for me is that, like, I'm starting to see all these things closing down, you know. I myself, I'm a barber. I cut hair, and I had to shut my shop down, you know, like for good. Like, I closed it down in March. I opened back up in whenever, fucking July. And it was just, I lost half my people, you know?
Right.
I mean, I hope they're okay.
Because they're scared to come out, or
exactly. They're scared to come out, or they bought a fucking buzzer at Walmart and said, fuck it.
Right.
So yeah, it's affecting a lot of things. I'd hate to see shit like that go, you know? It's like,
it's crazy to see like a lot of the small businesses in New York being overtaken by larger businesses in Manhattan, because New York is built by small business working man, and now like it's money talks, and like they can afford to pay the rent that's now required in Manhattan. And some people just can't survive. You know? And I still go to the same small coffee shop, Cafe Bell, as much as possible, and you know, I tip hard just to help her survive, you know.
Yeah, I feel like we're losing a lot of like the creative stuff, or, you know, I mean, just put music in as an example. People don't realize, you know, I interview a lot of musicians and stuff on this show, and I become friends with some of them, and their main source of income has pretty much been eliminated, you know? Like, yeah, they have records and stuff, but they make like pennies on that shit, you know? It's touring and merchandise and all that stuff that really pays their bills, you know? It's their job. People don't realize that. They think because they have an album out or something that they're rich. It's not normally the case. So yeah, things like that I feel like they're kind of,
like there's no music venues allowed to be open. There's some things that are happening in New York, which I think is kind of cool. Like the alley that's right by the tattoo shop. There's somebody that's been like just doing like bootleg, like, I'm going to set up a comedy station.
Right.
And they're performing at 7:00 at night, because there's no residential in that area. So they're just like, let's try it out. And they're allowed to perform in that way. There's been a couple things I've seen around the city where we're just kind of doing it under the radar enough, where like they're keeping it safe, but like, hey, you know, there's still a reason to be in New York.
Sure. Yeah. And you know what? That's a cool point, because people are finding ways to adapt now. You know, this is something I've always wanted to do, and
it's always about
this whole fucking pandemic gave me this, you know.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and like even bands now are doing concerts online. You still pay ticket, you still buy a ticket. It's like usually pretty cheap.
Funding somehow, right?
And you know, like just recently, NoFX did a show in their backyard.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you know, you'd be able to watch it live, and it was like $25, you know. And you know, but tattoos cannot be done virtually, you know, so that's something I do worry about. But
Well, I've been
hopefully we
lucky
get
enough
there.
to have a couple different ways of selling my art. So
Yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about that. You know, it takes years and years to develop these kind of skills and talents, and it's just a shame to see people losing their livelihoods, you know. But now let's go back to the beginning. So I known you since a long fucking time ago. I knew you wanted to be an artist, probably even before that. You were one of the first people to have like a fucking actual tattoo, you know, in high school.
Right.
Kids probably have them now because they're so much more common.
Right.
But at that time, you know, late 90s, it wasn't, if you had one, you're like, whoa, look at this fucking guy, you know?
Right.
So getting into the fine art, was that kind of like an intention beforehand? Like, is that something you always wanted to do and you thought tattooing was a way in?
No.
Okay.
It's kind of like something, just like everything, it just kind of adapted. And then I kind of tried to look into the future of what is. And I know without a doubt that I won't be able to tattoo forever. But at least if I can find my voice with whatever kind of art it is that I do, maybe I can live off that until the end is here, you know?
Absolutely.
So trying to find that voice is just like, that's the part where I'm just working on the sidelines and just doing that as much as I can. And I've been lucky enough to get opportunities with it. And it's developing slowly, but it's here, you know. I'm not trying to shout. I'm just doing what I got to do to hone it.
Absolutely. And I mean, you have a very specific style, obviously. A lot of nudes, a lot of sexy, risque, you know, kind of art. Like, it's really, really amazing. So if anyone out there hasn't seen it, they can head over to your Instagram page, right? Is that pretty much the best display?
Yeah, that's pretty much, you know.
Okay. And
best online, right?
If anyone wants to buy it, Etsy, right? They can buy prints on Etsy.
There's a link on the Instagram page.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's really cool stuff. It's incredible, actually.
Thanks, man.
So what's your process for this art? Because it's a lot of, to me, it looks like live models. Is it live models, photographs? Yes. Imagining it is live models.
Yeah, but not live as in while I'm doing it.
Okay.
Basically, I have been lucky enough to have met a lot of people within an erotic industry when it comes to burlesque or porn or photographers, and people that I've even looked up to in the past, like Dave Nessler was somebody I looked up to when I was a kid, and then in my early 30s, he actually became a friend. Okay. And he's also another pinup artist. Or even Viva Van Story, who I looked up to her photography, and then we became friends a couple of years ago through what I do. So I kind of pick up tips and tricks from them, and it kind of just develops from there. But I mean, like it might be risque and stuff like that, but it's really like me kind of also like on the sly, just really talking about living in the moment and whatnot, because just like in life, like people always want the end product. They want retire here, like that's things that they're thinking about. And the same thing is, you know, like an orgasm. An orgasm is cool, but like if that's all you're thinking about, it becomes like a goal set. So there's a lot of pressure on it, but foreplay as the lead up, the build, everything like that. So that's why a lot of the things that I do, you don't even see the face, because I want you to feel as if it was made for you and a part of you, and you can live within that.
Sure. Wow, that's awesome, man. So you have prints. Now, do you have any original art that you sell?
I do. A lot of it is gone.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it goes, and then some are in galleries, and I've had 2 solo shows, one in New York and one in Philadelphia. Somehow I'm not ready for gallery shows, I don't believe, but they get there, and it's kind of cool when I'm asked to do stuff like that. And, I've done a couple group shows in like Detroit and, New York, which is kind of fun. So it sells that way. And I do sell originals online when I'm willing to give them up, because there's a couple that I just want to keep.
Sure.
They're too much for me. But
have you ever tattooed one of your pieces on someone, like one of your art pieces on someone?
In a way, sure.
Yeah.
Because art is a very loose way of using the word prostitution of art.
Right.
Because people just tell me what they want, and I basically give them what I'm able to do based on what they say. So sometimes they just come in, they still don't even really know what they want. They just give me a basic idea, and then it's essentially my art. But the only time that I've been able to really push what I do is when I used to do tattoo conventions, because I would literally just put drawings on the table and say, this is what I will do this weekend. But when I work in a shop, it's not really so much, you don't really have that kind of
right. I'll only fucking do this.
It's just, okay, this is what you want me to do. That's what I'll do,
Yeah, right. What's the craziest, not location, but like the weirdest tattoo you've ever done?
The weirdest? I don't know, man. There's just...
Were there any ones that you were like, well, I don't want to do this? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, I say no often.
Yeah.
Just because it's morally, or, like, which they can go get it done somewhere else. Like, I just don't want to be the one responsible for certain things.
Sure.
Especially like an 18-year-old wanting their whole hand tattooed. And I'm like, that's cool. It's just not something that I want to be a part of, because you're going to remember my face. I won't remember you most likely, but you're going to remember my face for the rest of your life, and probably hate me when you're 30.
Yeah. So do you have any rules with that? Like, as far as someone wants to get a neck tattoo or a face or a hand, like, do they have to be kind of already inked up?
Yeah, you got to be pretty heavily tattooed and experienced in healing tattoos and whatnot. And I don't care what you do for a living. I just want you to have the right state of mind. I don't think their age should even be 18. I think it should be 25.
Yeah.
Because we all still make stupid choices in our early 20s.
Yeah. I kind of wish it was 25 as well. Not as a tattoo artist, but as someone who gets a tattoo, because I got some stupid ones, at 18.
Same.
Nothing, offensive or anything, just stupid, probably trendy at the time or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I still have them, just because it's like, that's what I was doing then.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I keep, I did a couple cover-ups and stuff like that, but I keep everything for the most part, like as a reminder, So obviously your art's kind of risque. Do you have any trouble online on like Instagram, Facebook jail, things like that?
I have been banned from Facebook a couple times, but not Instagram. Instagram kind of lets me go. But I also don't have any followers that I tricked people into following me. Like, I don't ever use a hashtag. I don't ever do like the stupid little tricks that you can do to gain followers. I think all my followers are pretty much genuine, for the most part.
Sure.
So when I don't know if this is true or valid, but I feel like me doing it that way keeps me out of trouble, because they know what it is.
Right.
Like, it's people that I've met, or people that have bought my stuff somewhere else, or at like a show or something like that. And like, those are the people that I have met. And like, I deleted all my social media a couple of years ago, and I started from anew about 3 years ago. So my following's a lot smaller, but it's still like 100% like true people.
That's awesome though. Yeah.
So I don't really run into any issues if I paint like a guy's hand around a girl's neck or something like that. You know?
Yeah. 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 No one's going to report you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because I had a problem. Like, I don't ever really post anything too crazy. But
Right.
I had this funny meme, and it was a woman with like a mask on, like, you know, a mask that we all wear now. And it had a picture of a ball gag on it, and like the profile of a woman's face. So it looks like she just had a ball gag in her mouth.
Right.
It would not let me post it on anything. And it said something funny, like, you know, 2020's been hell, but our mask game is on point.
Right.
Nothing offensive about it. Nothing even sexual. Right. It was it was a ball gag in her mouth, but it wasn't even in her mouth. It was on a fucking picture, and it wouldn't let me post it. Like, I put it up, and instantly it was taken down.
That's the algorithms reading it.
Yeah, and what's funny is that, you know, I've seen some fucked up shit on like Facebook and things like that. You know, so like to ban a drawing, nevertheless, of a woman's nipple
I mean, like I've been challenged, but I just look at it again. It's a drawing. You know, like there's like a little button that you can say, check it out. No, it's not real. Like, check your algorithms, because this isn't a real person.
Yeah, they didn't even challenge me on that one. They were just like, nope. Fuck you. You're not putting this up. But I've seen like fucking beheadings, you know? It's like,
yeah.
How did that slip through the cracks?
I don't know how they get away with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Not that I want to watch that stuff, but, you know, I could see someone posted it. I'm like, why is that even there? All right, so I'm going to ask you a couple of favorites. This is probably the only like little on the spot question part. So what's your favorite New York City pizza spot?
Actually, I had it last night. It was actually phenomenal. It's not in New York City. It's in Brooklyn. It's in Carroll Gardens, called Lucali. And
oh yeah. I never had it before, but I definitely know of it.
Yeah, like I was amazed on how good it was. Like, you know, I've been to a lot of places, the DeFara, LMB. I grew up on LMB, Spumoni Gardens, and you know, and there's other places that are very popular, but I think they lack luster. Like Sauce is fantastic on Rivington, but Lucali definitely has taken the cake for me, pizza wise, in New York.
Right.
And it was a 2-hour wait. It was worth it. Yeah.
That's what I try to explain to a lot of people who come to New York for the first time, or you know, everyone hears it's the best pizza, and it is. However, there's 5 fucking million pizza places in the city.
Right.
And 4 million of them are horrible. You know, they're just tourist traps, you know?
Without a doubt. Yeah, the dollar pizza place that tastes like cardboard.
Right. So now Lucali, is it like a thin crust?
It's thin crust. It's coal roasted, which is pretty badass.
Yeah.
But it's their regular pizza is a margarita pizza, and I'm a sucker for fresh basil.
Yeah.
But it was just so good. The whole atmosphere was good, like, which plays a lot of points in me too. Like, if your restaurant is dope, I'm a huge fan already. Like, I walked in last night and I was like, this is gonna be great right off the bat.
Absolutely. I actually lived in Connecticut for a little while. I don't know if you ever had like New Haven pizza.
We did. Me and a couple friends went up to do Sally's, and
Frank Pepe's and
we hated it.
Really? Wow.
We hated every last place except for the one that wasn't on the list to eat there. I can't remember the name of it, but just some random old guy told us about it, and we were like, let's go try it out.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Right. You don't remember what it was called? It was modern?
No, it was on the same street where Sally's and that other one where there was just an hour-and-a-half line to eat inside, which didn't make sense because we just went inside, got a pie, and then went at a picnic table and ate it.
Right. Yeah, no, I know. It's funny because so when we moved from New York to Connecticut, we were there for a while. You know, it was a concern, like, oh, I hope they have good pizza. So it was good for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's noted as some of the best pizza in the country, but
I know.
I'm all about New York, Little Vincent's over here and shit like that. You know, I guess that's what you grow up with, but.
Yeah, I still think like Long Island pizza is probably the best pizza there is, even compared to New York. I still think it's
Yeah.
That and Chinese food on Long Island blows everything in New York away.
I know, it's crazy. It really is. So some of your favorite tattoo artists.
Tattoo artists. To me, right now, the best in the country is a girl named Teresa Sharp.
Okay.
She's in Richmond, Virginia, the Unkindness. There's nothing that girl can't do. It's amazing. Jeff Gogwe in Oregon, he's just mind-boggling. And then there's just so many that like I look at and I'm in awe of what they do, including some of the people that I work with.
Sure.
Like this guy Logan I work with, like the stuff that he produces, and like he draws it, like he'll draw a whole sleeve on and just nail it.
Wow.
This guy Moni I worked with in Philadelphia, like he does like all the Polynesian stuff, and he draws it on like the whole thing with like a red pen, and then it's so perfect.
Wow.
So perfect.
Favorite modern artist, like what you do, like
currently?
Yeah.
I don't even know. There's just so many out there right now. What I've been paying attention to mostly lately is photographers. So like I really love Viva Van Story stuff, even though I know she's a friend and all, but it's just like her stuff blows me away every time I look at it, including like Chassa Ray is just fantastic. I try not to look at anybody that does what I do because I don't want to get personally influenced.
Sure.
Even though I appreciate their art, it's just I don't want to see it all the time because then I might try to do it and like lose my own way. But
yeah, no, I totally understand that. I do that with this. Yeah. Like, I don't really listen to podcasts, and I'm doing it because I just want to do what I think it is.
Right. You don't want to sit here and go, oh, that's what he's doing. Let me pepper that into my stuff.
Right.
You know?
And of course I have influences or like, things that I borrow from other things, but I just don't want to sit down and like study something that I'm trying to do. I'd rather just make it original and make it my own. And if I happen to rip somebody off, I'm sorry. It's just a fucking coincidence.
It was on purpose. But that's the same thing. Like there are a lot of great charcoal artists out there that I think are fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just I try not to be them. I try to just still be myself. So if I start staring at this stuff, I know I'm just going to sit there and go, how did he do that? Let me try and do that. Because that's what happened with tattoos early on. And now,
right.
I don't want to do that again.
And absolutely, it actually shows in your work too, I think, because you can kind of see your style, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know you, but if I saw 20 of your prints and I saw 10 years later, I saw it like, oh, that's Tom's.
Right.
It's got that unique, it's got that unique like signature on it. So, favorite documentary.
Documentary?
Yeah, if you have one.
It's called I Am.
Okay.
I can't remember. It's the same director that directed like Ace Ventura.
Get the fuck out of here.
Right? But it's a serious documentary about like basically philosophy and how he basically gave up all his money and now lives in a trailer and rides his bike to work teaching his philosophy on what life is.
Get out of here. It's called I Am, like the letter I Am. I gotta check it out. That's why I ask these questions, because I get like so many cool recommendations.
Oh my God. It's fantastic because like for me, especially because I follow like westernized Eastern philosophy, like a big philosopher that I admire is Alan Watts. And I've been reading him since I was about 30, and he literally changed the way that I live just by reading his stuff and trying to manipulate it into my own thing. Even though he's from the 60s, 70s, it still works for today.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, favorite curse word?
Favorite curse word?
Yeah.
I really love the word cunt.
Oh, me too.
But not in like a derogatory way. I only say it at not inanimate objects. Like if I drop something.
Yes.
Or like I don't say it towards anybody.
Right. I say it all day long.
But I do love the word cunt.
It's such a great, it's got such a like a punch to it.
I don't associate it with a vagina or anything.
No,
it's just
exactly. It's not derogatory, sexist,
No.
or anything like that. It's just, I had somebody on here from the UK actually, a few episodes back, and we were talking about that. I'm like, cunt is so popular in London.
Yeah, they use it as
like
their
damn.
bloke. Yeah.
It's like damn. That's it. It's like nothing. So I was like, I want to bring that here. You know, we need that here. We need to reimagine it. It's not going to happen. No, yeah, especially right now, it's definitely not going to happen. So all right, we're going to do some picks, man. I've done these picks before, but this is my first time doing it a different way.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, I have a backup, but this is my wife showed me how to do like a slideshow. So let's see what the fuck happens with that. So what I'm going to do is share my screen. So yeah, I'm just going to describe the pictures a little bit because some people watch the video, but some people listen to the, just the audio. So we have a woman standing next to Tom. She's holding a, fucking 40s, machine gun there, or 20s, I don't even know. And then Tom's on the right as a flapper. From that decade,
the 20s,
the Roaring 20s. So yeah, tell me about this picture. What's going on?
Wearing nylon stockings and all.
Nylon stockings and all. You look great, by the way. If I put that on,
I met that girl. I was in New Orleans and I met that girl that day. Her name's Robin, and she was, kind of quiet at first.
Yeah.
And then we walked by the place that did the old timey photos, and I was like, "You want to go get that done?" And she's like, "Nah." I was like, "I'll dress as the girl and you dress as the guy." She's like, 100%. And then as I'm changing, I hear her running around the studio playing pretend gun with the gun that she had. And I didn't have any underwear on, and he had me put my leg up for one shot, and the door is open to the street, so a bunch of people saw my cock that day.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Awesome. So how long ago was this?
I'm going to say 7 years ago, maybe 8.
Wow. It's awesome. All right, so we're going to go on to the next one here.
Okay.
So we got the Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
Putting Tom in a headlock. So
100%.
What's going on here, and where is this at?
I don't know if a lot of people have dirt malls, but on Long Island there's a it's really dirt mall now called Sunvet Mall.
Oh yeah.
And there's no kids around ever. So I would go there and take my picture with the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus.
Right.
And have them do stupid shit to me, because why not?
I actually cannot believe this is Sunvet Mall. Like, why would they hire the Easter Bunny to be there?
There's 5 people that go there a week. So
that's what I mean.
Yeah. So that's why I just I'll go here so I don't damage any kid's psyche.
So fair enough. So this is definitely going to bring us to the next one then, because this one.
Yeah. Also Sunvet Mall.
Of course. So
I was doing the thing with Santa a couple of years. My brother found it hilarious, so he came with me, and I wanted Santa to pretend that he was giving us Aegean pizza.
So yeah, we have it's almost like a holiday card. It says happy holidays on the top. We got Tom's brother on the left. Santa's in the middle, sitting down, holding a fucking Sicilian pie, which looks really good right now. And Tom's on the right, and they both look surprised, elated, whatever you want to say. Sunvet Mall, but why the fuck did they hire Santa once again?
It was there every year. I did it for 5 years. Just why not?
Right. I mean, even at Christmas time, that place is dead.
Yeah, it was just something that's actually when I was more popular with tattoos. So it was just, and internet, social media was still new. So and everything was so drama related that if you saw at least one picture to make you smile, this is before memes and stuff like that. It was just all right, at least I changed somebody's day.
Sure. Absolutely. No, this is definitely fucking awesome. And now next, we're going to continue actually our little holiday.
Okay. Yeah. Little dick in the box action with Santa.
We got once again, a holiday card, happy holidays. Santa's sitting down. He's opening a box. that's connected to Tom's pants, like dick in a box, like the Justin Timberlake video. Wow, man. Do you know this, Santa? Do you know this?
No, they were just totally down with it. The
That's
photographer
crazy.
knew me from going there so many times that she was just like, just do whatever he wants. He loves it. And I always make sure there's no kids around when I actually do
Right.
the project.
Yeah, I was picturing this like there's like 40 kids online behind you, you know?
No kids around. I made sure. Like if there were kids, I would wait till they left.
It's fucking awesome. Did you ever send these out to like friends or family holiday cards?
Just like my mom.
Yeah, of course.
That's about it. Like I just posted online, but mainly just gave it to my mom because I thought it was hilarious. And I'm the weird kid of the trio, so.
That's all right. Weird is good. Weird is good.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna get into some of your art. I love this one because obviously she's stunning, but she's got a slice of pizza, and she dropped a little bit of sauce on her chest there.
Yeah. It's kind of nice.
So I have to ask you now: is this scenario from your imagination, or was this like a live?
No, that's from a photo. And then I just mocked up for a painting.
Nice.
But also, like, you don't really see her face, just so you can relate to it in a way.
Sure.
And if anything, I'm sure I put some kind of title towards it about, like, loss of person, like a little bit of you, a little bit of me involved.
Right. Absolutely. I once, my wife's going to kill me, but I once took a frozen pizza, like I think it's Celeste.
Right.
And I put it in the toaster, and you know how fucking hot that sauce gets underneath that, like, fake cheese?
Yeah.
Like the hottest thing on earth, man. I dropped the whole fucking thing on her chest.
Oh.
To the point where she was like screaming.
Nice scar. Yeah.
It didn't burn. It didn't,
right.
But it didn't scar. But yeah, sorry, babe. All right. So Betty Page is the next picture here. She's all tied up. This is an awesome picture, man, because it almost looks like comic book kind of art.
Yeah. I recently acquired an iPad. Was it in January, I'm going to say?
Okay.
And I wanted to see what digital art was about. Like I more love like an actual original. Mm-hmm. That's why I do paint. But I also just screwed around with Procreate for a while, and I still do from time to time. Just because it's kind of fun to see what you can do, and you can erase your mistakes and play with it a little bit and see what happens. Yeah. And Betty Page is just, very iconic to me. Absolutely. In what I do. Yeah.
So now describe the process of this one. Did you draw this out and then put it into Procreate, or you did the whole thing in there?
I did the whole thing in Procreate.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm lucky enough to have a bunch of Betty Page reference pictures. Like my library here is just filled with like Eric Stanton and like all like Gil Elvgren and a bunch of Betty Page books and whatnot. And I feel like a lot of them people haven't even seen. So like I kind of like play with them a little bit into what I normally do and still put like more of a down low philosophy feel to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I might buy this one, man. Is this one for sale?
I don't know. They might be there. I don't know. I don't put too much of the digital prints for sale. I know some of them are, but I usually toss some of the digital prints in for free when you buy something else.
Right. Well, maybe I'll steal it then if I can't buy it.
That's a little like, a little
I kind of want to put it up on the wall here.
No, I'll send you one. That's
awesome. Awesome. All right, so this moved on by itself. I don't know why, but here's the next picture.
That's one of the first watercolor paintings I did, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to describe
it real quick. 2014 on it, or 16, or somewhere around there.
Yeah, it looks like 16. I don't know.
Yeah, it's super small.
Yeah. So we have a woman you know, bent over, pulling up her stockings. I like this, man. By the way, I kept this, you know, kind of PG-13 because
of course
I don't want to get kicked off of fucking YouTube and everything else. If you guys want to see the real hardcore stuff, head on over, you know, to Tom's Instagram page, Tom Tapit, or the buy some prints at Etsy.
No, I love this one because it's nice and soft and elegant, and
absolutely
says a lot with very little.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, and I love the dead space too. For some reason, it's and the off center. It's really cool. This was amazing, man. So here we have the Heath Ledger Joker drawings, portrait of his face. You know, one he's kind of serious, the other one's laughing. These are incredible, dude. What's the story behind these?
My friend Mike Delarosso.
Oh man, of course I know Mike Delarosso
of Joker, and he has done so much for me over the years. He's actually even come with me to my first tattoo convention because I was nervous.
Right.
He once built me a website back in the day, and I've tattooed a lot of his body.
He's got a couple.
And he's just an all-around great guy because he was one of the dudes that, because I don't drink, and he owned a bar.
Yep.
And he knew I was there just to be his friend, and I knew he was there for me to just be my friend. Like, we didn't want anything from each other, especially at a time when I just started tattooing, and that's where a lot of people started coming around to be my friend. So whenever I can, I kind of try to make something just for him.
Sure.
Because he played a major role in my art career.
That's awesome. He's a great guy, man. I run into him. I run into him at 7-Eleven like all the time.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Every time I go there, I'm like, "Hi, what's up, Mike?"
That's his street. If you're on Union, he's the mayor of the. He's the mayor of Ronkonkoma.
That's right. Yeah, so I'm in Lake Grove now, but
right.
Yeah, I bump into him all the time. All right. All right, so getting into some tattoos now. I really dig this one, man.
Yeah, it's super badass. That's one of the ones that it was, here's my drawing, do you want it? And she was all about it.
Wow.
It was, it's on her ribs going onto her hip.
Okay.
And it was me figuring out how to do more with less. So pretty much all the focus is on her hair, and there's just little notches of hence shading everywhere else.
Right. So as far as your tattoos go, do you have like a specific style that you do, or you kind of do a little bit of everything?
I do whatever makes people happy at this point. If they want coordinates the size of a dime, sure. If they want a portrait, you got it. If they want a lady head, I have so many drawn already. But like, I don't think I have a voice with tattooing. I'm just able to do a little bit of everything. I'm definitely not a master of any specific style.
Sure. Well, what would you prefer? Like, if you had to pick one, what would be your favorite, you know?
If I had to pick one, I kind of love neo-traditional. I love stuff with, the illustrative look of, strong lines and light lines, and then just basically seeing everything with the line work, and the color is just an additive.
Sure. Awesome, man.
Because it just lasts longer.
Yeah. Now, how long ago was this one? Yeah.
This was
about, if you remember.
I'm going to say 6 years ago.
Okay.
7 years ago.
Wow.
No. Yeah, 6 years ago.
Okay. This sleeve, man. Wow.
Yeah, she's dope.
Yeah, we have a sleeve here. Obviously very floral.
Mm-hmm.
And you did the whole thing?
I did the whole thing. She actually just started with a small piece on her forearm. And I think about like 6 months later, she's like, let's do the rest of it.
Yeah.
And I think we did it in total, like maybe 5 sittings.
Wow.
She actually is a really, really rad girl. I spent a lot of time with her over, 6 to 7 sittings, but yeah, she was cool. I love that. I love black and gray. It, to me, it's always going to look, because as it fades, it's just going to fade all together.
Right. Very cool, man. So, all right, I got to tell everyone this next little segment is very fun. Okay. I found some terrible tattoos. Like,
okay.
Not you didn't make them. So
maybe I did.
Nope. If you did, dude. This is my first time doing this, and I figured why not start with my first like tattoo artist. So yeah, once again, I want to clarify that these have nothing to do with Tom. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Oh. So we have a portrait here, if you want to call it that, of Ryan Gosling. It says Ryan on the top, Gosling on the bottom. It's got his face, which looks absolutely nothing like him. It almost kind of it looks more like the guy from Princess Bride.
Well, that's probably why it had Ryan Gosling on it, so you know.
Right. And then for some fucking reason, and it's not a cover up because there's skin here.
Right.
Fucking spider legs coming out of his neck. What the fuck is this?
This is.
Could this be like intentional, funny? You know what I mean?
No, because if you look in the background, it's somebody's house.
Okay.
So, I mean, tattooers aren't changing the world. I'm no better than the person that did this. Mm-hmm. We just have different skill levels. I'm sure the guy going into it kind of knew what he was getting into when he walked into somebody's house to get the tattoo. It might even be his buddy.
Right.
But, you know, just like anybody drawing, you know,
yeah,
if
that's
you can't
insane.
draw it, it's not really, it's never going to be better than your drawing.
I mean, he has a mustache. Did he ever even have a mustache?
Well, you know, it might be just, you know, that day he didn't shave.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. All right. This one, man. Yeah. So once again,
I've seen this one before.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
I mean,
not in person, but I have seen it before. Yeah.
It's Michael Jackson, which I guess, you know, they did a good job just because I know it's Michael Jackson.
Right.
So one, you know, out of 100, maybe like I'll give him like a 2. Just it says "Forever with Us," and then MJ in a heart. Yeah, this is crazy, dude.
Weirdly, there's some people that actually seek out these types of tattoos.
That's kind of what I was saying with the first one. Like, is it like an intentional, you know?
Sometimes there is. I have a client that I've been tattooing for 10 years, and there's been times that she goes, and she's a punk. She's a punk girl, and she's just like, I want this to look like shit. And I'm like, huh?
Right.
And she's like, miss spots, do this, that. I'm like, okay.
Sure.
I'm into it. Yeah, whatever that your look you're going for, I can make that happen, but it's going to stay however I do it, you know?
Right. Yeah. Listen, I don't want to put anybody down or anything, you know? If this is what they want, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But if this was supposed to be real, that's scary.
There are people that come into my shop now with stuff like this and go, how do you fix this? And I go, we cover it up.
Right.
Yeah, like that's
with a laser. That's how we fix it.
No, I mean, not always. Oh my God.
This one. Yeah. So we got the Lion King. Simba's on the back here. Dude.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Fortunately enough, a lot of it is going to fade away.
Yeah.
Not all of it, though.
These whiskers, man. These whiskers look like they went real deep.
That again is just skill. Like, I love how crazy long that paw is on the cub.
Yeah, the proportion is absolutely insane. But man, this is huge. I mean, I think this is this guy's whole back.
That's his whole back. Yeah.
That sucks.
That poor guy.
That sucks. Once again, if that's what you wanted, fucking awesome.
That poor
but
guy.
I can't imagine that you'd want that.
No, there's no way.
All right. Yeah, we got Freddie Mercury. Once again, yeah. I have no idea, man. Is this intentional or not? I have no idea. This is crazy.
Definitely not, because there's a lot of it fell out and whatnot, and this poor guy. There's clouds that are just and like little birds. I didn't even see that right away.
Yeah, the bird. That's what makes me think like maybe it was like supposed to be a joke, but
no, there's no way that was just somebody not doing what their skill level is.
Yeah. Wow.
But again, every picture you showed me, I see background house.
Yeah.
I don't see.
So there's a moral to this whole thing. Yeah. Do not get a tattoo at a house. Yeah. Unless you want this. If you want this,
it's your buddy. Yeah. Your buddy trying things out.
It's rock and roll, I guess. Holy shit. All right. So that wraps this up. Let me come back to our regular screen here. And there we go. Dude, I had a great time, man.
That's awesome.
Thanks for being here.
This is cool. I like everything. I'm just noticing everything in the background, like everything going on, like the David Bowie and stuff like that. Like I work in the place that he lived in.
No shit.
Yeah, like he lived upstairs from where I work.
Wow.
And like, even before that, I hang out in Little Italy all the time, and you would see him around pretty often.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, I kind of just, a lot of these pictures, you're actually up here, but my camera's all fucked up, so I have to move you.
I like being in the shadows. It's my thing.
No, you can't even see it at all. I gotta reconfigure it. Yeah, I put everyone who's been on the show and things that I like, and Beastie Boys book. Gotta have the Beastie Boys book.
Okay.
Some signed things. People who send me shit from the show. It's just my collection here.
Fuck yeah.
I'm actually in a garage. I'm in my fucking garage.
Hey, it's probably bigger than my whole apartment.
So, yeah, this is where the magic's starting here, man. This is where it's all happening. And behind this is just a garage. So I needed something, with a little appeal,
No, it's dope.
No one wants to see a lawnmower.
Even if your wife just drove in just now, that'd be even.
Just fucking blew the whole thing down.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. So my final question I ask everybody,
on
a scale from 1 to hell fucking yeah, how excited were you to be here today?
I was pumped all day for it.
So hell fucking
yeah. I woke
yeah?
up and my pants were extra tight. That's how excited I was. Hell fucking yeah.
Awesome. Same here, man. So thank you for being here, and I hope to see more of your art in the future, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hell fucking